is the last day of my working tour of the Greater Accra region, and I thank the President of the House, Ni Okwe Kinkadowana VI, Niosu, for the invitation to address you, and I'm most grateful that so many of you are present here to listen to me at this city. In 2019, government, backed by strong popular support, superintended over the successful reorganization of our regional governance structure, resulting in the creation of 6 new regions, namely Oti, Bono East, Ahafo, Savannah, Northeast, and Western North regions, to accelerate development in these areas in fulfillment of the 2016 manifesto pledge of my party, the ruling New Patriotic Party. Inasmuch as the creation of these new regions have changed the administrative boundaries of our country, with the paramount objective being to quicken the process of developing every part of the country, it has also affected the structure and management of chieftaincy institutions, necessitating the formation of new regional houses of chiefs, particularly in our new regions. To aid in the smooth composition of the membership of the new houses, government in July 2020, together with the National House of Chiefs, brought the membership of Regional Houses of Chiefs Regulations 2020, LI 2409, into being. Accordingly, I've inaugurated the Bono East, Ahafo, and Western North Regional Houses of Chiefs, with the Vice President also inaugurating Oti, Northeast, and Savannah Houses of Chiefs. On behalf of government and the people of Ghana, I congratulate each and every one of you on your membership of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. I also congratulate Ni Okwe Kinkadowana VI, Usumanche, on his re-election as President of the House, and Usudoku Manche Nene Kwesi Animle III on his election as Vice President. I'm confident that each one of you will discharge your duties effectively to the best of your abilities, and I wish you the best of luck. Nime, the chieftain institution, like virtually all other institutions of state, has lived through controversial periods of our history, playing different roles at different times. Indeed, at certain times in that history, some have wondered whether chieftaincy is still relevant to our development. For my part, I do not hesitate to state that chieftaincy has been, is, and will be an indispensable part of our history and development. It is so widely respected that even when our fellow Ghanaians leave our shores and can be free of the influence of chieftaincy, they create chiefs wherever they find themselves. With the advent of the Constitution of the Fourth Republic and the guarantees enshrined for chieftaincy, we have made significant progress. Ever since my government assumed office in January 2017, we've taken a lot of steps to strengthen the institution of chieftaincy. Government recognizes that in order to ensure the success of the ambitious program of social and economic transformation we put before the Ghanaian people, we have a lot to do in terms of incorporating the traditional role of our chiefs into the modern constitutional setup under which our country is governed. As a start, we made a pledge in the MPP's 2016 manifesto to increase the monthly allowances paid to chiefs and the quarterly budgetary support to the traditional councils and houses of chiefs. And this we have done by 100%. Nevertheless, I've also taken note of the suggestion by the President of the House of further support from the District Assembly Common Fund. Government has assisted the National House of Chiefs with 3,500,000 cedis for the completion of its new headquarters office complex in Kumasi. Government is also committed to assisting the National House of Chiefs to moving speedily on finishing work on the codification of the traditional norms and rules that have guided our communities throughout the ages. The ministry, in collaboration with the National House of Chiefs, has also begun the process of digitizing records of the National House of Chiefs, particularly records in the National Register of Chiefs. Again, a major bane of our nation's socio-economic development has unfortunately been chieftaincy disputes. They have resulted sometimes in full-blown conflicts, threats to our nation's peace and stability, destruction of properties, loss of lives, closure of educational and health facilities, and separation of families. In helping to stem the effects of this, government through the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs has arranged to provide the funds that will increase the number of sittings of judicial committees of regional houses to hasten the adjudication of pending issues in order to bring closure to many outstanding disputes that continue to generate tension. And I'm happy to hear from the President of the House that this has resulted in increased sittings of the Judicial Committee of the Greater House, resulting in the resolution of several outstanding adjudications. It is a good development that has to be sustained. Again, the National House of Chiefs, together with the Chieftain Ministry, in order to reduce conflicts and establish areas of customary jurisdiction and allegiance, has delineated traditional areas of paramountcies. In so saying, issues of land administration continue to be major problems bedeviling the development of the economy, mainly as a result of dishonesty in land dealings. As trustees of lands, on behalf of your peoples, I entreat you to help government streamline the administration of lands in the country, leading to an efficient and well-functioning regime of titling, fixing of boundaries, and ownership tracing. The Chieftaincy Ministry has also instituted a program to have courses in chieftaincy development, comprising lectures, seminars, and other activities aimed at building the capacity of chiefs and all persons with interest in the chieftaincy institution. I applaud this initiative. Eminent traditional rulers, if we have ever doubted the ties that bind the various peoples that inhabit our lands, one need only take a look at our traditional rules and practices, many of which transcend regions and traditional areas. There might be different reasons assigned in different parts of the country for why you cannot farm near the river or go to the farm on a Wednesday or Thursday or fish on a Tuesday or Saturday. But there are rational and scientific reasons behind these traditional rules. By the same token, we should not be afraid of discarding those rules and practices that do not fit in with modern current realities and norms. I refer especially to the practices that seek to discriminate against women and children. It is difficult to find a justification for some of the widowhood rights that persist today amongst many of our peoples. I ask you to be in the forefront of fighting to discard these outmoded practices, which should have no place in the Ghana of the 21st century. I'm aware that the Constitution of the Republic forbids you to engage in partisan political activity, but your involvement in the public life of our country derives naturally from your position as traditional rulers. It is thus my hope that members of this august House will help set the tone in their areas of influence to help realize our vision for a prosperous and progressive Ghana. Government is determined to bring governance closer to the people and expand the boundaries of democracy in our country. We're counting on you to help shape and integrate yourselves into these developments so that the peculiarly Ghanaian contribution to the concept of governance, which emanates from the integration of royal aristocratic institutions into the fabric of a Republican democratic framework, will be enhanced and strengthened to the benefit of the Ghanaian people. I urge you to speak out and join government's fight against the ills of our society: corruption, social and economic injustice, crime, and the illegal mining menace, popularly referred to as Galamsey. As chiefs, you have a responsibility, as was done in the days of our forefathers, to help preserve the sanctity of our lands, the purity of our water bodies, and the health of our environment. I must in this regard express the appreciation of the nation for the responsible advocacy role you have played in educating and raising the awareness of your subjects on the need for compliance with the COVID-19 safety protocols. Your efforts have been a welcome complement to those of government and demonstration where needed your relevance.
Ke watueng meni obaga pieni woli shimene ibahawo emintibrie oshahime son yo biene ni woli ake onye ojie omusuni no olota ko showu ni ewo gbe ise mo be wanda bo shihu wana ake owie mo mi ohie ye education wa wo hani amamotu ni projects New York Greater Accra titu education wo ye agenda ko ni wakoba ba ke hani beke bi ne ya school ye Greater Accra no official ake and by take advantage your projects ke institutions na fear wo ba daboshi ina wie mo pi ku pe chompe fiake odenche wole heni wodom ni wole wona ne ni wo ba fa wo oyura don mene ake onye okowa ba shina bie ni wo here you ake ni onye ma mi pe wona agba bibi ni yo mi je fen wo ba wi bie shibudenche okowa ngbe ba na ni onye usobu fe wanwo ye wo shikonji no ko ko ba ha wo hu wole ake ejinu ko no ba fi ayaka wonu hima kenje he kumi wo ke wo chano wole ake ni bi efe ni wota wo inde wa shem shikome ko oyura don
NET2. The third, Manya Dodua, residents of Dodua, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. Kwasiada, Kwasiada ni share ya probase ewon cry. Greater Accra, nene ene ni aprobo na ebe na wiye. Ena onyankopon abie kwan ma ye a yetumi aba Dodua ha. Dodua so de me ka Dodua semana aka me papa. Tama ye mofra no tabo Dodua ko komo ma ye pa. If you say, on Wakasano, the Mofrasi no, Dodua and Obedi, son obey Penny, Obedi Ghana president. Now the Papaya Jumawa is a cocoa factor. It's not Dodua when it takes on a Rupa and then Nessus Yamaba too. It's the end of that. Say, first, the dear a problem, a baby, and will Dodua. The dear who so soon say. Adwuma ti amaye baye eye adwuma ese boa Ghana pomodie kwasem yare baye amaye hu se ya pomodie system aye wono niam bi wo ho a esese ebomode ni ehye homa eno ti ne de agenda 111 aba a district hospitals and one Ghana nyina no ese ebomode ni ma district bia enya baako Ochile bia sembi ba nya nyese de krofo ekoa baby a wono ano no tumi nya amfaso aye ho aduma anu bia an infectious disease center here aba eboa emaya system, our health system is strengthened and empowered. That's why it's brought here. I'm happy sir also so tumi agina wa too pay for when you know. Na somehow the two jano I'm say you ra amakwata wabomode eye na ano wo ho enam teach you akwan asema na ehia na ye mede wie na ne say mede wase asem papa na bosumbo a de amame ni maban na me fa say you kranche say akwan ye nam so no ya kosonos ya nisa na enfa bibi papa ebo me de wanu ase papa do wanu ase afa ni pai bo nso a oye wafoso eye mame me da ase papa na tse nyina ni manope Accra Regional House of Chiefs I want to catch the Vice President says Shao Sudoku Mushada betra osro na chida tembia chinia na se na mo chinia so no na say ya ebububa tokro na aba be de dabu so hin fefe yasem kakra ya de ba ya no na ye wieye ene se afi yes, Yankupo. Say 4 more for Nanano and Yeduma. Near 4 more. So Emma, you're right, Nugget. Madame, I say, when I make trouble, it's not do my mind.